What is going on, my beautiful friends? It is so lovely to see y'all today. Thank you so much for joining me on another edition of MTB Talk. We have a very exciting video today. Today we are discussing my home province. We are finally going to Ontario. And I know what you are thinking. Ontario does not have any sick riding. You are absolutely wrong. Within the last 5 years or so, many good trails have been popping up. We've always been known to have good XC if that's your thing, but now we are actually getting some good enduro with places like North Bay, Barrie, Sault Ste. Marie, and now with our newest addition, Deerhurst Resort in Huntsville. We are finally getting a proper amount of enduro, and this place has some sick rock slabs, so it's got the perfect terrain for some good trails. This is a chapter out of my book, The Best Mountain Bike Trails in Canada, available now on Amazon with a lowered price for your buying convenience. If you want to find all the hidden gems in the country like this one that you must ride, 100 of the best trail centers are in this book. So anyways, before we get started, I want to suggest to you a little Dream Ontario MTB road trip that you can take. Yes, starts in Barrie. We all know where Barrie is. You got the bike park in Barrie. You got Copeland Forest. Only the bike park made the book, but Copeland is pretty sick too. There's also several other locations you can ride in Barrie. Hundreds of kilometers of trails out there, and it's all pretty good stuff. So you're starting in Barrie, then you get to the Bracebridge Resource Management Forest, about an hour away from Barrie. They have some sick rock slabs in there, some sick double blacks like Crazy Goat and Narnia, and some sick single black trails. Just a very rocky, slow, techie place, if that's what you like. Bracebridge almost made the book. Didn't quite make the book because it got knocked out by Deerhurst right here. Sorry, the top 100 keeps growing, keeps elevating. Then after that, you have Deerhurst about an hour away from Bracebridge, and we're about to talk about that. Then you have North Bay, which has turned into a little mountain biking mecca for the enduro and the DH. So this is a crazy road trip. Barrie to Bracebridge to Deerhurst to North Bay. For all my Ontario peoples, or if you're visiting Ontario, this is all within 3 hours of Toronto, about 3.5 hours to North Bay from Toronto and back. What a sick little road trip we got in Ontario now. It is very exciting. Anyways, let's get into the Deerhurst Resort because this place is absolutely sick. It's got the rock slabs. It's got some good flow. It's got nice trail features being built. You guys are doing it right up there. The Huntsville Mountain Bike Association. Big ups to you. I friggin' love this place. Thank you so much for crafting these excellent trails. Let us start. The HV, I guess that stands for Huntsville, HV, Green Flow / Tech. There's two trails, so green riders, I have not been on these trails yet, but if you're looking for good green rated trails, I can definitely guarantee you these trails are fun. So they got an HV Green Flow and an HV Tech. So those are like short trails, about 400 meters each, but great place to warm up and gauge your skill level. This place is probably not ideally tuned to beginners, more intermediate and upriders because of the very rocky Canadian Shield terrain. Anyways, what's next? So those looking for some XC trails, you got HV Blue The Island and Muskoka Flow. Both very fun, little up and down, nice XC riding. This place is actually more enduro focused, I would say, but those are your pretty good XC trails, so you must ride those if you're a fan of the XC. Anyways, next we are getting into the goods. This is what I ride. This is what I love. It's just going to be a great time, people. HV Colorblind. I rode Sick Descent. This is a blue rated trail. I believe when you actually get there, they say it's a blue / black, and I can see why. There is some gnarly moments. This trail has some sick berms, little jumps, little rock slabs, I believe a drop. It's just got it all. It's only about, I forget, it's a small descent, maybe about 40-50 meters descent, but it just packs the action right in, and you can just hike up a little steep hill very quickly and do it all again. And right beside that one is another one of the sickest trails, No Man's Land, which is another sick descent. Got little rock slabs, got the steeps, got some jumps. It just, both of these trails, side by side, HV Colorblind and No Man's Land. No Man's Land is a black. It's a little harder, but both of them are so sick little descents, and both of them come down to the same point, and you can just hike up the hill and lap them over again. Both about small descents, 40, 50 meters, something like that, or maybe 35 to 40 meters, but both very sweet descents. Highly recommended both HV Colorblind and No Man's Land, but we skipped a step. No Man's Land is a bit of a harder black. If you are looking for the easiest black in the network, which doesn't descend quite as quickly, which is a smaller descent, the Tub, easiest black diamond. This one will take you over kind of the Canadian Shield rock spines. Very fun trail, kind of a trail that you might find up in the Bracebridge Resource Management Forest. Reminds me of one of those. Very fun trail, the Tub. You can be dropping off of all those rock slabs, so this is a very fun trail. After that, we must discuss HV Wildcat planned 70-meter black diamond descent. I obviously haven't been on this trail yet. It's not open yet, but I just love to see all the trail building going on here. So we're very excited for the HV Wildcat planned descent. That one's going to be ridiculous. I just know these trail builders are so good here. They've clearly done their riding out in Quebec, out west, and they wanted to bring some of that back here with us. And in Huntsville, we got the elevation, we got the rock slabs. I believe they have up to 70 meters in elevation, and that is good enough for a good descent for me. So we're so excited about that planned trail. Now we're getting into the double blacks, and boy, do they have some sick double blacks here. I wrote them all down. Extra credit, Zorro, Little Janky. Men, these double blacks are sick. They are legit double blacks where you need to carry some speed or you're going to be going too slow, right? So you need to carry a bit of momentum on these double blacks because they are very bumpy. So this is some legit Ontario double black jank. Extra credit. I want to say extra credit might be the easier of the bunch. They're all pretty, they're all pretty similar except for Little Janky. That would be the hardest of the bunch, but extra credit, just a sick trail. The last time I rode it, it was just covered in leaves. I couldn't see anything. I was having so much fun. Whatever. Zorro is a great trail, but a 70-meter descent coming off the other side. And this one starts off a bit flowy with some small jumps. Then it's got some massive drops on it, and it's got some actual pro lines. Now, I think they call the pro line on that one the Hillary Step. And I remember I rode this pro line. I'm not usually a pro line guy. I'm easily an Ontario double black guy, but I'm not usually a pro line guy anywhere in this country. But you know what? I went for it. I was feeling good that day, and I remember just riding down this pro line. And when I looked back up, I'm like, holy crap, that was the gnarliest thing I ever rode in my life, I think. And it's cool. It's just a little short pro line, but anyways, so Zorro, once you start getting the bottom, it gets janky, it gets steep, and you need to carry a bit of momentum through all these rock gardens and slabs, and these double blacks are fun. Little Janky would be the final test. That is right beside Zorro. You can either go down Zorro or go down Little Janky. Little Janky is not a Little Janky. It is very janky. It is a relentless rock chundery soup. So much fun. All the double blacks here are so much fun. There was also another one called Rock Maple Granite, which just has a sick Squamish-like slab, but I believe they just changed that to a single black. You can see why. There is more trails coming. So, what else is coming? Stevens 2.0. They also have one called Steven Pass, which is another very fun technical trail. I believe that's a single black. There's just too much good stuff here already. I couldn't even fit it all on the board. So we got Stevens 2.0, that plan. That looks like a good 60-meter descent, double black. So I am so excited. Shout out to the Huntsville Mountain Bike Club. I actually look forward to riding this stuff. Most of the stuff in Ontario, I'm like, get me away from these trails. There is, I believe, 10 sections from Ontario in this book, and it is all very good. You believe it or not, in Ontario, we have the Canadian Shield, which is actually just a sick rock band of endless rock slabs. So we do kind of have the terrain. We're just lacking in elevation. But a place like Deerhurst, they have about 70 meters, I think, top to bottom. At least that's what their top. At least that's what their big trails are right now. So, such a sick place. This place used to be just a resort for the couples to go make love to each other and eat at the buffet. Now it is some of the sickest mountain biking trails in Ontario. If you want to discover all these hidden gems, this book is still on Amazon, and I know you're getting sick of seeing it, so you just better hold it in your hands for yourself. Price is now lowered for your reading satisfaction, my friends. Anyways, my friends, so lovely to see y'all. If you're in Ontario, you gotta ride Deerhurst. This place is friggin' sick, right next to North Bay. My God, we are getting some good stuff. And once you're in North Bay, you can go a bit east, about 4 hours. Then you're at Mount Ste. Marie in Quebec. We will talk about that place later. One of the best trails in the country, Bone Shaker. So anyways, so much sickness. Thank you, Huntsville Mountain Biking Club, for building some of the goods in Ontario. My God, is it beautiful. Anyways, my friends, we will talk to you soon. Thank you so much for joining me on another edition of MTB Talks. And that was a 10-minute video. Peace and lots of love. And I'm out,